Happy Friday, everybody. Yeah, you hear the music, and you know what that means. Not only is it Friday, but it's time for your Berkshire Hathaway bi-weekly podcast. In the studio again today, realty expert John Brodeen. We'll be talking with John in just a minute.
Look, if you want that home, let's go get you that home. And it's okay to feel a little nervous. Or to not know what to look for. Because our network agents have the expertise to take the scary out of buying a home. Well, most of it. Now, let's go get you home.
All right, John Brodeen, I keep waiting to see you in one of these commercials.
Yeah, they should have me.
I know. I mean, you're a good-looking dude.
Maybe not as good looking as that guy, but I could pull it off maybe.
I think you could. Last time you were here, Wednesday, it was your birthday.
Yeah.
And you had a golf tournament. How did both go for you?
It was fun. It was a really fun day.
How'd you golf?
Pretty bad.
Yeah, yep.
My ribs are really messed up right now, so it was hurting me it was killing me to swing. Not that I would have golfed any better if that wasn't the case, but yeah, we went out there and had fun. It's mostly like a socializing thing. Mm-hmm. So
you ever think about not getting beat up for a hobby? Maybe you'd be able to golf more?
Yeah. Golf used to be my main hobby.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Golf's very time consuming also. So
yeah.
You can't really do both.
It is. I wish I could be on the golf course all the time. I have people tell me all the time that the cost of housing in Grand Forks, they all say it's ridiculous. I don't know because I don't go check house prices in any other town, but is the rise of housing, is it a real thing here in Grand Forks? Is it high?
Yeah, so pretty much everywhere house prices do go up over time. And that's why I harp on all the time that if you're going to buy a home, it's a long-term investment, and it's a great investment over the long term. It's not something where you're going to get rich overnight with it. Mm-hmm. But if you buy a home and you stay in it, or you stay in a real estate market for a long time, it's pretty normal for, house prices to double or even triple over the course of, 20 or 30
sure.
years. I know that's certainly the case, like, for when my parents bought their home in like 98 or something like that, home prices have probably tripled since then.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah. So to answer your question, yes, house prices have gone way up. Affordability is still there right now, especially with the low interest rates. People would be surprised at how reasonable payments are on these places. So if you're going to live in a home for, more than 4 years, it's still going to almost always be a better investment than
sure.
renting. If you're going to be in a house for 3 to 4 years, it can be a little bit of a wash. It's going to be slightly more risk if you're going to be in a home short term, but you could still get lucky and hit the market on an upswing and still make some money or do better than breaking even. If you're going to be in it short term, it is much riskier to buy a home versus renting. Renting is lower risk. But if you're gonna rent for the long term, your rents are going to be going up, every couple of years.
They don't ever go down.
No, rents don't go down. And so you don't have the ability to lock in that payment the way you do. So like, even if we look back roughly 10 years, the average for 2010, the average sale price in Grand Forks, people are this is going to make people wish they bought a house back in 2010. The average sale price was $166,400. The median sale price was $150,000. In case people don't know the difference between the average and the median, the reason we use the median a lot is if you have a really high sale or a really low sale, it can kind of skew the average.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So when we look at the median, it's just taking all of the home sales that went through, lining them up from highest to lowest, and whatever number is exactly in the middle is the median.
Okay.
So it kind of eliminates some of those outliers, and one sale doesn't have as much of a chance to skew the number, if that makes sense. And the average is just when you add up all the sale prices together. If there was 600 sales that year, you add all those sales up, and then you divide it by the number of sales.
Sure.
So 600, so you're getting the average, the mean. So back in 2010, the median was 150, and the average was 166,400. The average price per square foot was $76.79 a foot. So this year to date, we're a little more than halfway through the year. 473 sales have closed. The average sale price is $257,944. The median sale price is $230, and the average price per square foot is $114.22. So prices have gone up by over $90,000. The average sale price has gone up by over $90,000. The median sale price has gone up by about $80,000. Average price per square foot's gone up dramatically. Average price per square foot is another really great number to look at. That's going to show you, across the board, you're not just seeing the average house. You're seeing the average of what the new houses are selling for price per square foot. Some of those are up in the 150s. Some of the worst houses in town are selling, at $60 a foot.
Yep.
So there's a wide range there, but that gives you a really good idea. Even last year, when we averaged the price per square foot for 2020, it was $111. So that's jumped up by $3 so far this year. And that's a result of low supply. It's just like, it's just like high school economics. What causes prices to go up? High demand and low supply. We had quite a few years from pretty much from like 2016, I think it was. From about even from 2015 all the way up through like 2019, where that didn't rise very much. Like in 2015, the average price per square foot was $105 a foot, and in 2019, the average price per square foot was $108 a foot. So in those 4 years, it rose just as much as it's rose so far from last year to this year.
Wow.
And then when you look at another market that was very similar to how ours is right now, the kind of 2012 through 2015, you saw a dramatic rise. It went from 2010 to 2014, it went from $76 a foot to $98 a foot. And those were years of very, very low inventory, very strong sellers markets. But then you saw it level off for about 4 years. So that's kind of how the market cycle works, especially in the Midwest. In the coastal markets and the vacation markets, you see big rises, really dramatic, fast rises, faster than this. And then you see more dramatic drop-offs where you see housing prices sometimes fall dramatically. In the Midwest, it's just a little more slow and steady, where you see, years where prices rise, and then you might see a few years in a row where prices plateau and kind of stay the same. Because from 2015, the average sale price was $238, median was $215. In 2019, the average sale price was $245, median was $229. So that's not that big of a rise for 4 years. But if you look at the rise in median and average sale price from 2010 to 2014, the average sale price went up from $166 to $220, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, that is.
And then the median sale price went up from $150 to about $199.7. So about almost a $50,000 jump, or a little less than about a $50,000 jump in median sale price as well in those 4 years.
Wow.
So 4 years of really fast growth, followed by 4 years of kind of a plateau, and then now we're starting to see some fast growth again. So the people who are complaining about the high sale prices right now, if you see 2-3 years of these type of markets characterized by low supply, you might be wishing you bought back in 2021.
When people hear some of these numbers, John, and they say, well, you know what, I'm just going to build my own house. Good luck with that right now, because I don't think that's going to be a cheaper way to go.
Yeah, building costs have gone up a lot. The cost of building. And, a home builder we sell a lot of homes with is Thompson Homes. They have they kind of have the market on the lowest price point for building, right? And even their models have gone up. Their base model used to be about $240 when they came to town, plus roughly 20 to 30,000 in specials. Now that same type of base model is right around $300.
Wow.
So and I've had plenty of clients. I've had a few clients who have bought one of those right when Thompson Homes came to town, and then decided to upgrade since then. And it's been kind of a short period of time, so you don't typically expect this, but they've made great profits on selling their homes because, prices, especially for that type of home, have really gone up.
Sure. Now, I don't know if you can answer this or not, John, but, the people that say cost of housing is too high in Grand Forks. Now, if you were to compare, say, with Fargo, Bismarck, Minot, are they? Is it more expensive to buy a house in Grand Forks, or maybe you don't know those numbers?
Yeah, to be honest, I know everything there is to know about the Grand Forks market. I do not know those other markets very well. Minot's going to be more affected by the oil and gas industry. Sure. Fargo, larger market, more supply, to my knowledge. But I believe they have a pretty hot market right now, especially 2021 and 2020. Similar situation, but I think their average sale prices might be a little lower than Grand Forks, but I'd have to talk to a Fargo expert to find out about that stuff. People always say, why is Grand Forks more expensive than Fargo? One of the things people point to is at some point in time, it's likely Fargo will have to put in a flood protection system like Grand Forks did back in 2000 or whatever.
They've been working on that in Fargo since '97.
Yeah,
and they still don't know what's going on.
So it'll likely happen eventually. And I guess I don't know the implications of that, but I'm sure it's going to cost the average taxpayer some money. But Grand Forks has a really strong local economy. We have a nice diversity of different employers. Sure. It's not just one industry that controls the whole city. So we've strong local economy, low unemployment, low crime, safe community. We've got a lot of things going for us here.
So basically, if you've been renting and you've been thinking about buying a home and you plan on staying in that home, I mean, the numbers you just gave me, in like 11 years, they have gone up, almost doubled. Yep. So, I mean, it's a great investment also.
Yeah, it is a great investment. And people might say, oh, this is a seller's market. This is a bad time to get into the housing market. And I would say it is going to be tough to find a home. But if you have the ability to find a home right now and lock in a 30-year mortgage at a 2.75% interest rate, that's a fantastic opportunity. If you're talking about, the market cycles are 5 to 7 years usually. So if you're going to be in your home for 10, 15 years or whatever, you're going to go through a few market cycles. You're not worried about being on the wrong side of one or the right side of another one or whatever. You're going to be in this thing for the long haul. And so you're going to be in that home during plateau years, and you're going to be in the home where the values are going up by, $3 a foot per year or whatever.
Yeah.
And it might not, we've gone through the hottest part of the year, market wise. May and June are typically the hottest months of the year as far as real estate goes. So, you might not see the average price per square foot stay at 114 when we check again back, in January. But it appears that it's certainly going up from last year.
Well, let's face it, nothing gets cheaper. No. It gets more everything gets more expensive every single year.
Yep, that's the way it goes. Rents go up, house prices go up. Locking in a 30-year mortgage, the only thing that might go up slightly, which really won't affect your payment very much, taxes might go up, insurance might go up.
Sure.
But your principal and interest is going to stay the same.
Right.
So, yeah.
Learned something again today, John.
Yeah. So
you guys really are realty experts.
Thank you.
Big plans for the weekend?
More house remodeling stuff. Close on that duplex on Monday. So got to get that thing ready. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a busy weekend. It's been
never
really
any rest,
busy
is there?
Never rest, no.
How do we get a hold of John Brodeen, realty expert?
Cell phone, 701-213-5428. You can call or text me.
All right, and there you go, realty expert John Brodeen. And you know what? If you're going to buy a house from John, maybe you want something changed a little bit, might I steer you towards Executive Properties? These guys do all kinds of commercial and residential work. I mean, they do everything. Heard John mention he's having some work done in his kitchen. Well, they'll do that for you, too. If you want to find out more, you need a little bit of tweaking done to your new home, 701-330-1273. Or you can go to executiveproperties.org. Again, thank you to our realty expert, John Brodeen with Berkshire Hathaway. There you go for a Friday's edition of your bi-weekly podcast, A Done Deal. Have yourself a wonderful weekend, everybody.